gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Here at Yankee Stadium tonight, the initiative is to keep America beautiful. So give out some seeds, plant those seeds, and beautiful flowers will bloom. And the Yankees, in turn, are trying to plant the seeds for another World Championship. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Chicago White Sox in the final game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Outlighter. I'm Michael Kay. 2 tough losses for the Yankees at the start of this series, but last night it was really a big-time win for the Yankees. Well done overall, and they did it with the killer C's.
I like that, Michael. Killer C's, I'll tell you what, Robinson Cano has been one of the certainly better hitters in the Yankee lineup in baseball. First inning, Mark Burley pitched a 5-ball game, 2 runners on, a 3-run homer, his 6th home run of the year. This was an absolute line drive home run, a rocket. Burley settled down. That's all that Bartolo Colon needed. What a start from Colon. 8 innings, 6 strikeouts. You talk about a guy that's showing dominance. This has been a great pickup, a great fastball. He had some fastballs in the 96-mile-an-hour range, had a good curveball, mixed the ball around, made these White Sox hitters look like they didn't really know what was coming. What a start for Colon.
I'll tell you what, Al, if you look at the Yankee rotation last time through, starting with Sabathia last Saturday in Baltimore, 8 innings, 6 hits, good job and a win. Freddie Garcia, 6 shutout innings. A.J. Burnett, a tough loss there. Ivan Nova, he went as far as he's ever gone, 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits and 1 run. And last night, as Al was talking about, 8 innings, 7 hits and 1 run for Bartolo Colon. Let's take a look at tonight's starters, see if the Yankees can continue another run through the rotation, and they'll do it with CC Sabathia, 1-1, 2.73. Edwin Jackson goes for the White Sox, 2-2, 4.88. Now, we talk about how this run started with CC back in Baltimore. How did he do it? What's he been throwing? His dominance against the White Sox. All of that is explained when we return with segment 2 next on Yes. Away from the final game of the 4-game set between the Yankees and the White Sox. Now, back on Saturday, the Yankee starters really had been struggling. They had given the Yankees the fewest innings of any starters in Major League Baseball, but then CC Sabathia took over, and his performance against the Orioles really snapped this rotation to attention, Al.
Yeah, it really had started with that start. I'll tell you what, it was a bludgeoning of the birds down there in Baltimore. CC just being CC, he's averaged almost 7 innings a start. This was his first win of the season. He went 8 innings, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts. Love the fact that he uses his changeup as often as he does. Good power breaking ball, nice little key double play. He is an absolute horse, workhorse in every sense of the word in Major League Baseball.
And you know what? He likes pitching against the White Sox. 16-4 in 29 starts against them. Great ERA. He has a strikeout per inning against the White Sox, and they hit just .238 against him. And his 16 wins, it's the second most wins he has against any opponent. Number 1, 17. against the Kansas City Royals. So the Yankees are looking to split this 4-game set. And when we return, we'll have lineups, first pitch, baseball, all coming up next right here on Yes. Yes is brought to you in part by Volvo. Pay nothing to repair or maintain your new Volvo for the first 5 years. Volvo for life. By Acela Express, enjoy the journey. And by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of the New York Yankees. Well, the Yankees have taken the field. CC Sabathia ambling to the mound, picks up the ball. He is ready to take his warm-ups, and we're ready to take a look at tonight's White Sox starting lineup, which is presented by Bank of America. Brent Lillibridge, you remember him from the other night. Those two great catches and righties and left today leading off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Alexi Ramirez. Carlos Quentin, the right fielder, will bat third. Cleaning up, playing first base, Paul Konerko. Adam Dunn, the DH, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing center field, Alex Rios. Ramon Castro will catch. He's going to bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the second baseman, Gordon Beckham. And Brent Morrell, the third baseman, will bat ninth.
On the mound for the Yankees, making his 6th start of the year, CC Sabathia, 30-year-old left-hander. See his numbers more than respectable. He had his first win in Baltimore in his last start, 33 innings, averaging almost 7 innings a start, the .250 batting average against, 30 strikeouts. Nice numbers across the board. Let's take a look at the Jeep Pitchers Scouting Report. Home is where the heart is. How about this? 11-2 with a 3 ERA, and since the new Yankee Stadium, 20-5, including postseason. Loves it here. Loves the Pale Hose. 16-4 with a 3.82 against the White Sox. Adam Dunny's dominated, 200 batting average. Carlos Quentin, AJ Przinsky, all the guys that he has handled so far. A true workhorse, I tell you, since he's been in the big leagues since 2001. Second in wins behind Halladay, third in strikeouts. Innings pitched, he's third. This is an absolute ace on any staff in Major League Baseball.
Well, he is ready. And here is Brent Lillibridge. Lillibridge, 6 hits in his last 13 at bats. He's become a valuable player off the bench for Ozzie Guillen and against the left-hander. they will put him in there rather than Juan Pierre. So Lillibridge is ready, and so is Sabathia. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a fastball strike. We're underway. The White Sox have taken 2 of the first 3 in this series, and if they win tonight, they will have won a series at Yankee Stadium for the first time since 2005. Yankees looking for a split of this 4-game set. Hot shot to Eduardo Nunez. He knocks it down, regains, and Lillibridge reaches. That was hit hard, but that should be an E6. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. At third base, it's Alex Rodriguez. Derek has the night off, so Nunez at short. Cano at second. Chavez at first. Teixeira's shoulder bothering him a bit. Martin behind the plate. And in the outfield, Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right, and Sabathia on the mound. So Eric Chavez in place of Mark Teixeira holding on Lillibridge, and they do score that at E6 on Nunez. Line drive, left field, a base hit. Cutting over is Gardner. He'll field. Going to third is Lillibridge. The throw not in time, and that allows Ramirez to go to second. So Lillibridge, aggressive, drew the throw from Gardner, and that allowed Ramirez to go in behind the throw.
Well, Gardner got to the ball quickly, and obviously this is a judgment call. You want to keep your runner at first base, keep the double play in order. He did not hesitate at all, thinking that he had a shot at Lillibridge. I think if it was on the bag, he may have been able to get him. But in doing so, Alexi Ramirez being able to get to second base.
All right, so that's a single, and he goes to second on the throw. So now Sabathia has got himself into a little bit of a jam. And here is Carlos Quinton. The Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up a run. 2 speedsters on the bases for the White Sox. And the pitch is high.
Boy, this is one of those starts you're just reeling right away. You're on your 4th pitch, now 5th pitch of the game, and in a heap of trouble.
You know, there's always been a lot of talk with all the sabermetricians and the people that are addicted to the metrics, and they criticize Derek Jeter and the fact that he doesn't have great range, and all he does is win Gold Gloves. And this is not a knock on Nunez, but the greatness of Derek Jeter is a ball is hit at him, he's going to make the play. He's going to make the play. If you hit the ball at him, and there's something to be said for that. I don't think you just dismiss that. You really feel comfortable when a ball is hit to Derek. Now, that was a tough play for Nunez, but it started this inning.
Yeah, it was a hot smash, a right call in the era. And you're right. There's something to be said for steady Eddie. Plays that should be made are made. And I agree. Derek Jeter is as good as any. Yeah, you're right. You could talk about the sabermetrics and range and all that. I know, standing on the mound, you want your guys, yeah, flash is great, and certainly somebody who can get to balls that most people can't. But when a ball is hit to you,
you want that out.
That's right. The ball was well struck, but should have been made.
Yankees in the middle of 16 straight games, then they have an off day, and then they play 16 more straight without a day off. So Joe Girardi trying to be smart, giving Derek, who's going to be 37 in June, a day off. And that's why Derek's sitting tonight. The 3-1. Ground ball to A-Rod. He's going to come home. And they get him. Good play by Alex Rodriguez. They get Lillibridge at home.
Completely instinctive play. Off the end of the bat slightly, but hard enough. Now Alex Rodriguez knows the runner, and he knows the ability of his arm strength to be able to get that play at home. He did not hesitate. He couldn't hesitate because Lillibridge has plenty enough speed. He's got a 2, 3, 4 hopper. He sees where the runner is. Now it's just a firm strike to Russell Martin.
Let's take a look at it with the IOTV HD Super Shot.
Blocking the home plate. Nice.
And the tag right before that foot here at home plate. And another good part of that play, for some reason, Alexi Ramirez did not advance to third. He stayed at second. So now that keeps a double play in order all around. Konerko with a high fly ball to right field. Swisher will make the play, tagging is Ramirez, but the throw is cut off by Nunez. Now you can see why it was important that Ramirez did not advance to third. Here's one more look at that play at the plate, and every single angle shows that the umpire, Jerry Davis, the crew chief, got it right. Bang, bang play, but he got it right. Now, second and third, nobody out, and Sabathia is 1 out away from getting out of the jam.
Yeah, that's a great play on Alex's part, and the running mental error of Alexi Ramirez just saved the Yankees a run.
Here's Adam Dunn. And the pitch is outside. Dunn is 7 for his last 50. And if you look at the bottom of the White Sox order tonight, I'm not saying there's landing spots, but boy, you have guys that really are slumping. Adam Dunn 7 for 50. Alex Rios is 3 for 35. Ramon Castro is hitting 211. Gordon Beckham 4 for 47. Brent Morrell is 2 for 18. Lots of outs there. And there's an out right there as Dunn flies out to Granderson. And how about Sabathia? No runs, a hit, 1 error, and 2 men left. Wiggles out of trouble. White Sox nothing. Yankees coming to bat. For 30 against him with runners in scoring position. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. Curtis Granderson will lead off tonight. He's playing center field. Batting second and playing right field is slumping Nick Swisher. Robinson Cano at second base will hit third. Cleaning up and playing third base, Alex Rodriguez. Eric Chavez at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Russell Martin. Jorge Posada will DH, he'll hit seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field, Brett Gardner. And Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
27-year-old right-hander Edwin Jackson making his sixth start. The guy with good stuff came over from the Arizona D-backs. Here you see the 4.88 ERA, a few too many hits per innings, 31 to third innings, 39 hits. Good stuff all the way around. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scatter report. Front end stuff. He's going to throw anywhere in mid-90s, low to mid-90s. Excellent breaking stuff. Put away at times, strikeout, swing and miss, but of late he has not. He's 0-2 in his last two starts. 23 hits in 12 and 2/3 innings. And how about this? He was traded in the same year, and the last time that's ever happened was in 1951. Cliff Chambers from the Pittsburgh Pirates was traded to St. Louis. And I said he was traded in the same year, throwing a no-hitter.
Count 1-0 to Granderson. Well, the White Sox starters, in fact, their entire pitching staff, they've done a very good job against the Yankees. They've allowed just 5 runs on 13 hits in these 3 games. Now look at the split on Jackson. He came out of the gate in his first 3 starts 2-0, 2.89, and 24 strikeouts. But in the last 2 starts, it's kind of gone downhill with a close to 80 ERA.
Well, his velocity, it could really vary greatly. When I say front end stuff, he really has that kind of capability of having already thrown a no-hitter. He's a young farmhand with the Dodgers.
Edwin made his major league pitching debut on his 20th birthday in 2003. And before that, he had said that he had only attended 2 major league games in person, both Florida Marlin games. So in his 3rd game, he was on the mound. The 2-2. Grounded sharply to second. Beckham. 1 out. Let's take a look at the White Sox defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, Lillibridge, Rios, and Quentin. That's left to right. In the infield, Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko third to first. Ramon Castro is behind the plate. And Edwin Jackson is on the mound. Here's Nick Swisher. Nick admitted after the game that the lack of home runs starting to bother him just a bit. Let's take a look at the weather, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. 64 degrees. Gradual clearing is the forecast, but the humidity is 88%. Longest streak that Nick ever had without a hit was 19 at-bats, and that was when he was at the White Sox in 2008. Nick does not like that call by the third base umpire Todd Titchener, but he likes batting against Jackson. 4 for 13 with 2 home runs.
But we saw a lot of check swing calls in favor of the pitchers for both sides in these now 4-game series. The hardest call to make, I think, in baseball. So subjective.
95 miles an hour. And the 2-2. Missed outside. And the pitch. Grounded to third. Morel. And Nick now has tied his career high with an 0 for 19. Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Well, the fact that Nick Swisher admitted to that he is thinking about it, I think that's the start of finally coming around. You know, a lot of times you hear players, you know, I'm not thinking about it, it's not bothering me, I'm just trying to get my bats. You got to get to a point where, you know, what exactly is going on, whether it's mechanically, mentally.
Here's Cano. He provided the offense for the Yankees yesterday, a 3-run home run in the 1st inning. Now he's batting in the number 3 hole. And I'd say on the vast majority of teams in Major League Baseball, Robinson Cano would be the number 3 hitter. Usually put your best hitter at number 3, but with this lineup, it makes more sense for him to bat 5th behind Alex and have the switch hitting Mark Teixeira in the number 3 hole. But with Teixeira sitting down today, Cano is batting 3rd, and that's what he does as a number 3 hitter. Only 5 games, 7 for 19, a home run and 8 runs batted in. So when he's hitting 3rd, it's A-Rod providing protection for him rather than the other way around when he's batting 5th.
As you said, I'm trying to think of teams that would have a comparable or better 3-hole hitter. Not too many.
Mark's shoulder barking after a diving play 2 games ago, and he aggravated it again yesterday. And until he came out for a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, he had played every inning of every game for the Yanks this year. Chop towards second base. Beckham is there, and a 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Jackson and the White Sox. One of the books here in the Bronx. There's no score. You're watching Yes. Tonight's question is, what is the most impressive occurrence so far this month? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. And here are your choices. Andre Ethier's hit streak. Chipper Jones passing Mantle and RBIs. Jared Weaver 6-0, 0.99 ERA. And the Rockies and the Indians with the best league records. Also number 5, which wasn't listed there, Al Leiter only had 2 Red Bulls for yesterday's game, which I thought is an amazing occurrence.
It was 1.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's even more amazing. Swing and a miss.
I don't know. Jared Weaver, 6-0 with an ERA under 1. That's Bob Gibson.
And this is his free agent year. The 1-1. 1-2. Rios, Castro, and Beckham. Grounded to short. Nunez against Rios for the first time. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Joe Torre used to say one of the worst things was resting Derek Jeter. He said he annoys people on the bench. He gets antsy, fidgety.
He didn't look too fidgety there, right?
Right there,
yeah.
He seemed fine. But it's early. If you think about it, Derek Jeter has probably been the star everywhere he's ever played, ever since he was a kid. And he probably played every single game. So it's probably a difficult thing for him to watch a game and not be in it.
And in the center of the diamond, captain, shortstop. Other than the catcher, that's the leader of the field right there. Infield, center field, being for the outfield. Knowing the pitches, looking in, being part of every play.
I wonder when it's all said and done for Derek, if he would ever consider managing. I've heard him talk about wanting to own a team one day. .3-0 to Castro. There's a strike.
Maybe get bored after hanging out for a while.
But if you think about it, not very many superstars become managers. I mean, they've made a lot of money. Managing's a tough job. A lot of hours, a lot of days.
Well, that's the thing now with the players of, you know, what they are able to make during their playing years. It's a little different than once upon a time. Guys get an opportunity to manage and be one of 30 managers in baseball.
Line drive and a base hit for Castro. 1-out single against Sabathia.
Backup catcher, Raul Castro, relieving A.J. Przinsky, who's hadn't done well against CC Sabathia. 2 changeups in a row, 3-1 count. Got back into the count with a 3-2 count with the changeup. Castro staying back enough to hit a little base hit to left.
Now, I just did a quick perusal of the standings out.
Yeah.
And the biggest stars that are managing right now would be Dusty Baker. He was a pretty special player. Don Mattingly with the Dodgers. Mike Scioscia was a good catcher. I don't think you'd call him a star. Ozzie Guillen was a very good player, but I wouldn't say he's a star. Fouled straight back here, so it would probably be Mattingly and Baker.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kirk Gibson was a star.
Yes, Gibby.
Joe's becoming a big star as a manager. World Series already. 300th win as a Yankee last night. Pitch inside to Beckham.
Well, wasn't that the issue with Ted Williams, where it was hard for him to relate to the 250 hitter.
Right. Because he was great at doing everything, and when you didn't do it or weren't able to perform, he couldn't understand it. So that's always an issue, and as you mentioned earlier, you make so much money if you're a star now.
You don't need it.
You kind of want to go to an island somewhere.
Buy it.
Yeah. Count 2-2.
CC early on trying to find himself location wise, also which pitch is working. He's throwing his changeup a lot early on. There it is again.
That hits off CC, can't find it, finally does, and everybody's safe. So that's going to be a base hit for Beckham.
Right back up at the box. He gets out in front. Beckham did. CC not knowing where the ball was after it hit off. Look, did it hit his glove?
I think it hit his glove.
That's all it took for Gordon Beckham. He's got speed. Frustrating. You get a nice little comebacker, tapper to you. Not be able to make the play.
So Castro's at second. Beckham is at first. He was Brent Morrell. With that base hit, Beckham is now 5 for 12. That's a .416 average against CC Sabathia. And I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to people that own pitchers. I mean, dating back to Tom Seaver, where Tommy Hutton owned him. Couldn't get him out. Tommy was a nice player, but he certainly shouldn't have been able to dominate Tom Seaver.
Joe McEwing with Randy Johnson?
Yep.
I don't know if it was owning, but I think he had 3 or 4 home runs off him.
Randy Velarde also owned Randy Johnson. Like 500 against him. Who owned you that shouldn't have owned you?
Todd Pratt.
Yeah.
He got a lot of hits. Who should know? Mark McLemore never got a lot of hits. Good player.
The 0-2. Foul ball. Was there a great player that you got out consistently?
Vladimir Guerrero. He was, I think he was about 0 for 30, and he finally got a hit, actually a triple down the right field line. And he was, yeah, he's a great player. Andrew Jones, I think I did well against him. I'd consider Andrew Jones in his prime a great player.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Morrell down on strikes for the second out.
Just kept staying away on Morrell. Whoop. His behind was in the dugout. Looked like he was looking in. He definitely was in protect mode. That ball was about a foot outside. Doing CC Sabathia a favor there, swinging at a ball.
Here's Lillibridge. And a strike.
Yeah, early on here, just it's an uncomfortable start the way it started for him with the error in the first inning. Now he's got flipped the lineup over in the second inning. You're facing the first batter of the lineup. This doesn't look comfortable. But it's early, and it's CC Sabathia. That's what you go into a game, Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, you watch closely, you go over a game plan, a scouting report, warm up, see what's working, see how you feel.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. So the count now 0-2. Lillibridge reached on an error by Nunez in the first inning. Breaking ball, strike 3. Lillibridge down looking. So again, CC wiggles out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. 4 White Sox stranded in 2 innings. It's no score. I want to remind you there are ways to save money and conserve energy in your home. You can save up to $700 on your energy bills and make your home safer and cooler this summer. To learn more, go to getenergysmart.org. Sun going down here in New York City. A-Rod's getting up there at the plate, and he swings and misses at the first pitch.
Big, healthy cut, Alex. Often he'll come up and say, if I get a first pitch slider, I'm giving it a hack. So he's exactly what he got.
Inside with the fastball. Alex, I wouldn't say he's in a slump, but he's 2 for his last 14. Yankees are the only team with 2 players on the current roster with 400 or more home runs. A-Rod has 618 and Andrew Jones 408. You don't think of Andrew Jones as a home run hitter, but 408 home runs. You think of him as a great defender, but he can hit.
About the year in 2005, 51 home runs, 128 RBIs.
Rounded to short. Ramirez. Edwin Jackson, who retired inside in the first inning, that was special for him. The first time he done it this year in 6 starts. Jeez. A lot of the White Sox pitchers have done a good job against the Yankees. We mentioned earlier, 5 runs on 13 hits. And they have a very highly respected pitching coach in Don Cooper. I just want to know, how much does the pitching coach play in to preparing and putting a whole game plan together, how to go with guys?
A lot. You know, I'll even back up, Michael. You know, Donnie Cooper's been around for a long time, and as you say, very well respected, solid pitching coach. First, there's a trust. You believe in what your coach is telling you. And the information is unique in the sense, and I think what Donnie Cooper does well is that his information to you is slightly different to me. I mean, whether it's Phil Umber, you know, the performance he had first night is a different way.
Because my stuff is different than your stuff.
That's right.
So he caters
and delivery.
to the stuff.
That's right. You know, there are cookie cutter coaches. There's no doubt about it. That if you don't fit in their box, you know, they have a little bit of problem with that. Let me show you where you need to be. As opposed to with Donnie, he's a guy that, okay, this is your delivery, this is your strength, this is your weakness, and this is how we're going to try to refine it. And then, of course, scout report. I think their scout report during the series is excellent. Early on, some hard stuff, and big dose of breaking balls. We saw a lot of curveballs in the first game with Phil Humber. I thought Gavin Floyd looked as good as I've seen him. And again, great curveball. And after the first inning with Burley last night, the 3-run homer from Cano, I mean, it was just an arsenal of off speed, just enough to frustrate some of the hitters, especially the Yankee hitters that have been struggling.
So put me inside that scout meeting. Is it the pitching coach, the catcher, and the pitcher before each game?
And the bullpen coach.
And the bullpen coach.
Bullpen coach is a 1A pitching coach. You have 2 pitching coaches, basically.
And Eric Chavez was.
The whole pitching staff. The first meeting, Michael, is the whole pitching staff would sit around.
And that's how the offense is broken down in this series. The Yankees hitting just 149 and a 213 on base percentage. White Sox haven't done much either.
Nope.
Yankee pitchers have done a good job.
Well, this has been a heck of a well-pitched series on both sides. So the whole staff's in. You have your pitching coach. You go over scout reports. If there are pitchers on your staff that has a history with guys, they'll chime in, give their information as to what they think, and then it becomes unique each day of that start. You sit down with your starter, your catcher, and go about a scout report.
Hot shot up the middle. Diving stop by Beckham. There's one on the first. Pretty double play. Beckham took a base hit away from Russell Martin and started a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. We played 2 here at the stadium. Yankees and the White Sox are scoreless, and the Yankees didn't have much more of an inning because of that play. Partner play, great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Well, I'll tell you, this GE partner play was basically done by this hot smash, the hot smash pass. Edwin Jackson, you see the great play to get the ball. He kind of fumbles it out of his hand. Alexi Ramirez able to capitalize.
Alexi Ramirez now grounds out to Alex. And there's one away.
Well, it's a little fumbled, but because of how quickly it got to Beckham, strong throw over to Konerko, easily getting Russell Martin. That ball was scolded.
Now, Al, you were talking about the effectiveness of White Sox pitching coach Don Cooper. What a good job the pitchers have done. You see the Lincoln scoreboard, no score. Top of the third. The Yankees have been scoreless in 25 of their last 28 innings in this series against the White Sox. And it was the White Sox that came into town just completely inept offensively. They had not scored in 20 innings coming into the first game of the series, then didn't score in the first 3 innings. High pop-up. Shallow left. Going out Nunez. Coming in Gardner. 2 outs.
Yeah, I think a combination of a lot of things. There are some of the Yankee hitters that have cooled off, and there's a way in which you pitch to a lineup when you know you can pitch around a guy, especially if you get behind in the count. I think that the White Sox have done a nice job of that. Phil Humber, there was no history. You know, I think you've cited the statistic the first night of this series. The Yankees historically haven't done well against the pitcher they haven't seen. Humber took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, one of the best starts of his professional career. And then it's, you know, we were talking about it last inning, and you know, you can have the greatest scout report, you can have a great coach. It's a matter of executing the plan, and that's making quality pitches without making mistakes. Staying away from counts like this, the 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 count.
Now you watch CeCe tonight, and it's in stark contrast the way he pitched Saturday in Baltimore, when he actually threw one fastball that was clocked at 99 miles an hour. But we've seen this with Sabathia before. Even if he doesn't have his electric stuff, he manages to get through and navigate the lineup, and that's a sign of a great pitcher.
You said it. And it also is a sign of a guy who's very comfortable and will figure it out. Figure it out, what does it mean? It means if he doesn't have the stuff, as you're saying, Michael, and your velocity's off, there's a great pitching line against the Orioles. You don't improvise, you have a plan B, and the plan B might carry you through a couple innings, and then oh, look at the velocity, I've picked up a few miles as you get into the game.
Slow roller toward Nunez. He's there. Canerco doesn't have any speed, and CeCe works a 1-2-3 8-pitch 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. There's no score on yes. In part by T-Mobile, America's largest 4G company, by the men's store at Lord & Taylor, and by Acura Advance. Lincoln scoreboard, there is no score. 0-3-0 for the White Sox, 0-0-1 for the Yankees. Yankees have had a base runner. Chavez walked in the 2nd, but was erased on a double play. Now it's the bottom 3rd of the order. Posada, Gardner, and Eduardo Nunez. There's a strike. I see some umbrellas popping up. I hope it's just for the sun, which isn't out.
Oh. Yeah, it's starting to rain, Michael. Way to go.
It's my fault? The 1-1. Grounded to short. Ramirez gets Posada, and Jorge's struggles continue. Now 1 for his last 22. Must be very foreign for him, Al, coming into that at bat hitting 138. He has the 6 home runs, and some of them have been big, but he is really struggling.
Well, you talk about, I mean, really, if you talk about the Yankee offense, it's been about the home run, and Posada, I think, is the poster child for that. 9 hits, 6 of them have been home runs.
Not a heavy rain. Certainly they could play through this, and you have to get this game in. And there are a myriad of reasons. One, the Yankees already have 3 rainouts that they have to make up. Number 2, this is the White Sox only time in, and it makes it very difficult to make up this game then. And that means that the White Sox have to come off a road trip and come here, and that takes an off day. So you want to get this game in at all costs. Here's Brett Gardner. Brett's been doing an awful lot of that, and he's getting himself into holes. Now that time he took a ball, but he's running the hands up the bunt and not bunting. And he is struggling as much as anybody on the team. 4 for his last 41, hitting 145, and Brett's a better hitter than that. On base percentage of 197.
Well, I agree, and that was a good take. He was going to bunt, or it looked like he was going to bunt, trying to bring in Brent Morel. And that's the idea of it, where if he got his swing is right, you create a hole here because your third baseman is in so far. A hard ground ball is by your third baseman.
And he ends up walking, so the Yankees will take that because now Gardner can use his speed. He has not been on base that much. So let's see if Joe tries to create something.
Well, as a staff, this White Sox team has not held runners. They are caught stealing 2 of 21 attempts. Castro 17% better than Brzezinski, their starting catcher, is at 7% caught stealing. League average around 25%.
You go from 8, 9, and 1 in the Yankee order. A lot of speed there. Gardner, Nunez, and Granderson. Nunez has a live bat, too. You make a mistake with him, he'll make you pay. He beat out the incumbent backup infielder Ramiro Pena during spring training because he could play some outfield, and his bat is a little livelier than Pena's. Nunez also spent a lot of time, and you see Gardner there, that's not a good percentage. He spent time, Nunez did, with Robinson Cano and the Dominican, and they were working on hitting for more power. That one gets past Castro, and Gardner moves to second. That's what speed does, Al. Sometimes the pitcher gets distracted, yanks the ball, tries to make the perfect pitch, get it to the catcher quickly, the slide step, and the runner doesn't have to steal the base.
And they yanked 59-foot fastball away. Castro not able to handle this pitch. And that's exactly right. You get a guy that can run with the speed of Brett Gardner. Everybody's on alert. Called throw over, step off, slide step. A lot of stuff going on, even if there isn't a stolen base. And that all comes from the bench.
Count 2-0.
And you get a good pitch to hit. You start worrying about the runner as to keeping him at first, or now here hoping that he doesn't get a big lead. Now you'll have Beckham. He'll be trying to keep him close. Hitter, you keyhole is middle of the plate right here.
And Nunez makes contact. 93. Check that. 53 plate appearances last year. Struck out just twice. That's pretty good. prorate that over a full season, that's about 24 strikeouts. Not too bad. Buzzed him up and in. And the count 3-1.
Well, Nunez's natural stride is slightly toward. I don't think he thought that was a little closer. That had a little hair on it coming in tight up against the letters.
Fouled that one back.
Best year Nunez had in Double-A. Trenton in 2009, 322 batting average.
Not a good ratio. 40 pitches, 21 of them out of the zone. Walker. So Jackson walks Gardner and Nunez.
Well, not part of any plan for Donnie Cooper, pitching coach, or the pitcher. You have the 8-9 hitter. You attack the bottom of the order. So often you see that a pitcher will cruise through the bulk of the lineup to 3, 4, 5, and then whether it's a lack of concentration or you miss, and then it becomes a spiraling effect. The Yankees have an opportunity to take advantage of this.
Now here's Granderson against Jackson, and this is a big part of that 3-team deal that went down in 2009. Edwin went to the Diamondbacks. Detroit sent Granderson to the Yankees. Ian Kennedy went to the Diamondbacks. And Max Scherzer and Daniel Schlereth, along with Austin Jackson and Phil Koch, went to the Tigers. But these were two of the big parts of that deal. Edwin Jackson and Curtis Granderson. Let's check out the Delta League leaders. And the Yankees as a team, well, they lead the American League with 39 home runs. And a lot of their offense is generated via the long ball, and Granderson has 7 of those home runs.
Over 62% of their offense, Michael.
Runners go. Throw to third. Not in time. Double steal. That's why you want Gardner to get on base more.
And he had a couple shots, and looking at what the pitcher ended up doing to Jackson, this is a perfect strike. Oh boy, just didn't get the tag on it. That ball beat Gardner. Morel getting to the bag quickly, catching it up a little bit in front of the bag, and Gardner getting in there. Good call.
Infielders back, they'll give up a run on a ground ball. 3-0 count to Granderson. 3-1. Bottom of the third inning, no score. Yankees and the White Sox. I think that got a piece of Mick Kelleher, the Yankee first base coach. Tried to skip rope, might have just nipped him. So now 3-2 with 1 out. The pitch. Foul back to the screen. Let's see Mick jumping out of the way. Just got him on that left toe.
Slick fielder in his own right.
I think Dancing with the Stars is going to come call. Pretty nice move. And the 3-2. Granderson really battling.
Look at that right here. He's got a 3-2. He's fighting. Edwin Jackson throwing a lot of balls, getting behind the count. That was a slider that ended up backing up. Still a tough pitch to fight off for Curtis Granderson. 8th pitch coming in this at bat. Coming into this tonight, Granderson 143, 1 for 7. Now 1 for 8. That batting average went down.
How about this? Edwin Jackson has walked the bases loaded.
Granderson obviously seeing the erratic control or lack of from Edwin Jackson. First pitch fastball down the zone, misses again. Now he's in a good count, 2-0. High fastball away, stolen base. 3-0 right down the middle. Now he fights it off. He knows productive out to the right side. Fight again. That was a tough pitch right there. 3-2 slide. Looks like he took a little bit off that last pitch. Command is an absolute issue right now for Edwin Jackson.
So Donnie Cooper comes out and talks with Edwin Jackson. And the Yankees have the bases loaded, so an opportunity to break through and then certainly have a batter up that's due. Nick Swisher 0 for his last 19. Great speed on the bases. Maybe 3 of the fastest Yankees from third to first. So Jackson will work from the full windup. Bases loaded. Did you say stretch or wind up?
Absolutely. Not a good idea in my opinion. Any ball to the outfield, you have a huge secondary lead for the respective base runners. Nunez to get way off all these guys.
So he's doing this just because he feels more comfortable in the windup.
That's right. You get to a point where he's missable now. He's missing even in the windup. You don't allow the base runners to get huge walking leads and huge secondary lead. This is a decision that Jackson's saying. Probably Cooper came out and said, look, if you feel more comfortable winding up, go ahead.
There's a strike. Nick has driven in 7 of 8 runners from third base with less than 2 outs. And that's the situation he's in right now. He wants to stay away from the double play.
Pitches this inning, Michael. 16 of them are balls. I know Nick Swisher's been struggling. You gotta be patient enough to say, okay, if it's not right in my little sweet nitro zone, I'm taking it.
He's looking for the grand slam there in the count 3-2.
Well, that's where you know when Nick Swisher's out. A guy's got a very good eye, takes a lot of pitches, will walk.
That was a walk.
That's a ball 4 right there. You see that ball down. Pulled his head off.
He is so jacked up to do something after struggling as much as he has. And this is a perfect spot for it. Runners will stay put. There's just 1 out. 3-2 count. He walked him. 4 straight walks by Edwin Jackson. Brett Gardner will come home, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead and RBI for Swisher.
Well, there's no defense, obviously, against the walks. Here, 4 in a row. Certainly, Edwin Jackson's not wanting to do that. You get to a point as a pitcher, just put it down. Forget corners. Put it down the middle, down the zone, and take your chances. Now you got Robinson Cano. As good a hitter as anybody in the game.
All right, now explain this to me, Al. Why is he going stretch now?
I think it's totally in his head. I think he thought that I'm going to wind up, I'm going to double play, get out of it. Now he's realizing that didn't work.
And that didn't work either. Deep drive to right field. Clinton makes the play. Tagging is Nunez. He'll score. Moving to third is Granderson. It's a sac fly for Cano. He flirted with a grand slam. And the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, not quite the same height or velocity from last night's first at bat against Mark Burley, a 3-run homer. Just a little bit out in front. You'd think he got it off the end of the bat. Still, good swing, well struck. Quinton able to track that ball right to the wall. Nice play from Carlos Quinton.
Still has a no-hitter going, but he's trailing 2-0. 201 is usually just an area code for New Jersey. Here's Alex Rodriguez, first and third with 2 outs. Count 1-0.
Well, it is no hitter against Tampa Bay. Edwin Jackson, he had 8 walks.
This will be his 30th pitch of the inning, 58th overall. And it's a strike. Well, that's why Edwin Jackson, in his own way, is a tease. He's got electric stuff and should be much more successful with that stuff than he is. And there's always going to be a team that's going to be willing to take a chance. Whose pitching coach thinks I could straighten him out. Alex has great numbers against Jackson. 9 for 23, 3 home runs. Check swing and foul off.
Well, you said it, Michael. That describes a lot of pitchers in Major League Baseball, where there's the special arm guy that throws in the mid-90s at times, has no hit stuff, as Edwin Jackson not only shows but has done it already. A guy like White Sox, Donnie Cooper, yeah, there's something mechanically I can we can work out, like his arm. But at any level, you walk guys and get bad counts, especially at the major league level. Hitters are going to make you pay.
1-2. Now, I told you that Alex is 9 for 23 with the 3 home runs. Also 3 doubles out of those 9 hits. So 3 singles, 3 doubles, and 3 home runs. Yankees looking for their first hit of the night, but they have 2 runs already, thanks to 4 walks and a sac fly. The 2-2. Still 2-2. Alex grounded to short. That was in the 2nd inning against Jackson.
Alex just fighting off that pitch. You see late emergency hack. Edwin Jackson showing a good slider.
CC doesn't mind the wait as long as he's getting some runs.
You got that right.
Two. Rounded up the middle. Becker. That'll do it. So the Yankees, 2 runs, no hits, 4 walks, and 2 men left. We've played 3. It's 2-0 Bombers. Packers Quit Line quiz. This is kind of an amazing thing. I didn't realize it. Eric Chavez, who has 6 straight Gold Gloves, is one of 4 active Major League players with 200 or more home runs, but they have never been selected to an All-Star team. Huh. Who are the other 3? Did you realize that Chavez had never been an All-Star?
No.
Here's Adam Dunn.
One of the years. Oh, come on.
You would think. 2-0 Yankees without a hit. Now, we might as well get this out of the way because you know the Yankees will probably pick up a hit. But there have been instances of no-hitters being pitched where the pitcher loses, and it happened to the Yankees, ironically enough, against the White Sox. Andy Hawkins was on the mound. And Jim Leyritz was playing left field, and there was a terrible sun at the old Comiskey Park, and he dropped the ball. That was an E7, let runs in, and the Yankees ended up losing, and Andy Hawkins pitched an 8-inning no-hitter, and he was credited with a no-hitter, but since then, the rules have been changed that you have to pitch 9 innings in order to get credit for a no-hitter.
I remember that.
Foul back. Let's check out the Home Depot hitter scouting report on Adam Dunn.
Well, I put DH there. He's been in the National League his whole career, 354 career home runs, all as a National League player. This is a little different. He has struggled. There's no doubt about it. 169 batting average. Yellowstone, he can hit it out of any park. I'm talking about Yellowstone Park as well. And the lore with him was that he supposedly hit over a 500-foot shot in high school. He made the right choice. How about this during the draft week, Michael K? 1998, he was drafted by the Reds. He reported to University of Texas football. There's a guy, Major Applewhite, there, along with Chris Sims, and he decided, you know what, I'm not going to do this football thing. I'll play baseball.
That one is driven out to left field. Gardner back. If my memory serves me correct, Al, I believe that Texas won a national championship behind Major Applewhite.
He had 30 in 2 high school football seasons, 3,500 yards. Quite the athlete, big guy.
I'm told my memory serves me incorrectly, Al, that they didn't win a national championship under Major Applewhite.
Who exactly would tell your memory that?
Well, Bill Bolin and Mike Cooney, our producer and director tonight, they used to cover college football at that point, so they're very certain it didn't happen.
Well, then I wouldn't question it.
And I'm wrong. The 0-1. Fly ball left field off the bat of Rios. Gardner is there for the second.
This is where CC Sabathia could start settling in. Looked a little uncomfortable early on. Trying to find release point, arm speed, delivery, all that coming together. And it's a little frustrating at times. Look, love the ball strike ratio. The fact that he uses his changeup as often as he does, I think gets him outs, as we just saw there with the fly ball to the left off of Rios' bat.
Castro hits one off the foot of CC. He goes after it, and so did Chavez, so a miscommunication there. If Chavez had stayed at first, they would have gotten the out.
Well, that's the inexperience of Eric Chavez, having never started at first, has played there. You got a pitcher running after the ball. Obviously, somebody's got to play first. He may have had him.
Oh, I'm certain if he stays put,
yeah,
they would have had him. Castro, runs like a catcher. I tried to edit myself because I know I'm going to see John Flaherty tomorrow, and he hates when people say that.
Well, Flaherty could run along with Russell Martin. Ramon Castro could.
It was Gordon Beckham. Beckham hit one off of CC. There's a ground ball to short. Nunez goes to second, and that will do it here in the 4th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 3.5. Yankees lead 2-0. Eric Chavez is one of 4 active major league players with 200 or more home runs who have never been selected to an all-star team. Who were the other 3? Pat Burrell, Matt Stairs, and Aubrey Huff.
Pat Burrell, I would have figured somewhere in that career had an all-star year.
Isn't it weird how Pat Burrell won a world championship with the Phillies, then signed a 2-year deal with the Tampa Bay Rays and couldn't hit in the American League, then goes to the Giants and wins a World Series there, and they re-sign him. It's like he can't hit in the American League.
Well, obviously comfortable. I think that everything that went on in San Francisco was just the moons aligned, all these retreads, and guys that weren't right fits in other places ended up signing there. I think Cody Ross was a great sign, actually a waiver wire sign. Aubrey Huff was on that list.
Chavez fouls it away. Our research department went to work and they tried to figure out the last pitcher to pitch a complete game no-hitter and lose. And it was Matt Young of the Red Sox. He did it on April 12th of 1992, which ironically enough is also the major league debut of John Flaherty. And he was the catcher.
Wow. We're talking about John Flaherty. 10 stolen bases in his career.
John's going to be with us tomorrow along with Paul O'Neill as the Blue Jays come to town. Chavez swings and misses. Last year, Edwin Jackson had a no-hitter. But look at the pitch count. Well, A.J. Burnett pitched a no-hitter for the Marlins, had 9 walks. Sometimes
effectively wild.
Yeah, you can be effectively wild where the hitter has no idea what's coming. You can't even try to guess because the pitcher doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah, but 8 walks is not effectively wild. That's hit or miss.
A lot of misses though. Yeah. There were no hits.
Yeah.
Count 0-2. Martin robbed of a base hit. Nice play by Gordon Beckham up the middle, who turned into a 4-6-3 double play.
You talk about the rhyme or reason. When you watch enough baseball games, you'll see swinging bunts and broken bat singles for RBIs. That ball was smoked. Nearly took off Edwin Jackson's head. Hot smash up the middle, end up getting nothing for it. A double play in the inning.
One, two. And the pitch.
Talking about Bartolo Colon last night. What a great game and early on as well as he's pitched. You're going to put Russell Martin in there as well. Free agent signed this winter from the Dodgers.
Swing and a miss. 2 straight strikeouts for Edwin Jackson. Last June, Edwin Jackson did pitch a no-hitter as a Diamondback against the Tampa Bay Rays. 149 pitches. And the celebration is on. Now, we talked about that last week, but let me throw it at you. What's the wisdom of having a guy throw 149 pitches?
Because he had a no-hitter.
So what if that's the last game he ever pitches, Al? What if he blows his arm out?
He didn't. He's still there. He's throwing a good ball game tonight. You know, I know we did talk about that because what was it, Josh Johnson with the Marlins?
Right. But that's 13 fewer pitches than the 162 that you threw, and that was a big deal. That's just 13 fewer pitches.
Well, I think there's different ways of getting there, and 149 is pretty high. So, I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, if there were the pitch count scrutiny as it is now.
It's happened before.
Okay, but how many of the, and I don't want to do the old time, you know, old school guys, but, you know, often I think there were many games in which they pitched upwards of 150, 160 pitches.
That one is lined into center field. Rios is there, and the Yankees have yet to get a hit through 4 innings, but they lead 2-0. That's all they care about as they go to the 5th. We'll talk to Bob a little bit later on. You see Ben Zobrist, 8 RBIs in game 1, so 2 more in the second game of the doubleheader. They're playing the Twins without Joe Mauer, and Mauer's going to need a rehab assignment in the minors as he tries to get his legs stronger. And Travis Snyder, who'd really been struggling for the Blue Jays, he was optioned to their AAA farm team. Top of the 5th inning, it's 2-0 Yankees. Brent Morrell takes a pitch high from CC Sabathia.
What day is that done? For Zobrist, 10 RBIs.
White Sox are 10-15. They've come under a lot of fire of late. A lack of hitting. They've gotten off to a bad start. High payroll. And Ozzie Guillen taking a lot of the heat. But talking to Joe Girardi on WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show, we talked about managing against a guy like Ozzie. Ozzie is a seat of the pants sort of manager. High fly ball deep right. Swisher. Puts it away on the track. And it's hard to manage along with Ozzie because Ozzie will go away from the book. He's not managing by the book. Now, some of the quote-unquote great managers, you know what they're going to do on a 3-1 count because that's the thing to do. You know when they're going to pinch hit, take a pitcher out. You could think along with them. It's hard to think along with Ozzie because he's unorthodox and goes off the reservation sometimes. And sometimes being unpredictable really helps.
You know what? It's fitting of Ozzie's personality because he does occasionally say some things that'll seem as flying off the handle and not consistent. Well, you know, here's one for Michael. They've they'll try to steal, no doubt about it. They've been caught stealing 14 times out of 30 attempts.
Not good.
No, that's a bad ratio. But his mindset, knowing Ozzie, go. You get on there. We've seen a few during this series. Russell Martin made some good throws, throwing some runners out in some unpredictable situations, trying to apply the pressure. Yes, they have Juan Pierre, good runner. Alexi Ramirez, good runner. Rios will steal some bags.
Their offense has been anemic of late. 3 runs or fewer in 6 straight games. So, when you're managing against an Ozzie game, you can't think along with him when you want to steal a base. You can't say, okay, I'm going to pitch out here. Because you don't know when Ozzie's going to send it. He could send him not in a running count.
And part of that, too, applying the pressure, and Ozzie, the White Sox, definitely tried to do that during this series, is the fact that they're not hitting. And I think much of their offense, and this is a good team. This is a good team. Yes, they're figuring out their bullpen, like their rotation. Adam Dunn is going to be a significant part of their success. The reason why they signed him: power left-handed hitter, right-handed dominant team. Between Carlos Quinn a couple of years ago, I think he was robbed of potential MVP. He broke his wrist. Konerko, you talk about a true professional hitter, and Dunn in the mix. It's very formidable 3-4-5, but they need for him to get going. He had an appendectomy early in April, had a good last week of spring training, started the season on fire. Had the appendectomy, he just has not come back.
Swing and a miss. There's that changeup. Lillibridge down on strikes. Well, Dunn took a chance, though. Dunn did not want to sign with an American League team and be a DH. He didn't want it. He was looking to sign with a National League team or an American League team where he could play in the field.
The circle change right here. This is a beautiful pitch from CC Sabathia, and you talk about a guy that really could be on a given day, and he hasn't shown that velocity tonight. But when he does it, he will throw this pitch often, a high percentage tonight. A great changeup. And that's where I think what has now set CC even at another level of greatness. A perennial Cy Young Award candidate is that changeup, being comfortable with it. A true 3-pitch pitcher. And now here, Michael, look at her. We're seeing some 94s.
So he's finding it as he moves along.
64 pitches into it. So Mark wanted to get this high fastball here. Good pitch. Alexi Ramirez is a good fastball hitter, and anytime you get in a count like that, you'll see Russell Martin wanting that high fastball. Aggressive fastball hitters will swing at a fastball somewhere in the area code. That was a little too far out of the area code.
Popped up. Shallow center. Granderson is there, and he'll make the play. 1-2-3 inning. And with rain in the area, it's significant to note that it is now an official game. Halfway through, Yankees up by 2. group outing and a game day suite. Game day suites can accommodate groups between 12 and 382 guests with an all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage package. Make your special occasion legendary. Operators are standing by right this second at 212-YANKEES, or you can email suites@yankees.com or log on to yankees.com/suites. Edwin Jackson is trailing 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. He's yet to allow a hit. Brett Gardner started off the Yankee rally in the third. A walk to Gardner, a walk to Nunez, a walk to Granderson, a walk to Swisher, forcing in a run. And then a sac fly by Cano to deep right. And that's the scoring in the game. 2-0 Yankees. Here's strike. A 1-1. 2-1.
Important for Brett Gardner, who has been struggling. A 145 batting average on the season. Even though it's a walk, he ended up scoring. So still no hits there. Be patient. Got a pitcher who's been erratic with command.
2-1. Strike. Jackson lifetime against the Yankees in 7 starts, looking for his first win. He's 0-4 with a 4.91 ERA. And the 2-2.
A couple good pitches right there from Edwin Jackson. Painted on the previous pitch down to the zone. That looked like it was a little off the plate. Hopefully on prior Jerry Davis. Pulling that ball away.
That one is driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. First hit. A solo home run by Gardner. And the Yankees lead 3-0.
Gardner getting a low fastball. Down and in the Nitro Zone. Third home run on the season. Hasn't been getting many hits, but boy, oh boy, that was well struck. Third home run, second home run of the series. The second game here against Gavin Floyd hit a solo home run.
Here's Nunez. Breaking ball strike. Speaking of home runs, Nunez had his first career home run against the White Sox August 29th of last year. That one he wraps into left field. Willibridge fell and then could not recover. The ball goes over his head. And Nunez gets a double. He didn't fall on Tuesday night when they needed him to fall.
Well, not only did he fall, Michael, he came up on that ball. That was a line drive, hard hit ball. This is a rocket. Initially, Willibridge looked like he took a step in and then realized, hey, I better get back up. Too late over his head. You're right, a couple nights ago, ended the game on 2 great plays in right field.
Infielder by trade. Only recently they started putting him in the outfield. There's Curtis Granderson. 0 for 1 with a walk. That one is drilled to right and deep. Quentin back. It's over his head and off the base of the wall. Nunez rounds third. He will score. Going to third is Granderson. It's a triple. It's a 4-0 Yankee lead. Sloppy out there as Quentin did not play the well. And that allowed Nunez to score and Granderson to go to third, but they're scoring in a straight triple.
Well, you know, this isn't an easy play. This, again, a hard line drive shot off the wall. Quinton thinks he had it or thought he was able to catch that ball, realizing he's caught in no man's land, too close to the wall, not able to pick that ball up. Granderson identifying that immediately, turned on the Jets, seeing that Alex Rios is going to field that ball. Second triple of the year. Curtis Granderson.
So now the White Sox will bring the infield in. They'll also get their bullpen ready. Nick Swisher with an RBI walk in the third inning. Now 1-0. Nick was not overly fond of Ozzie Guillen when he was at the White Sox. That's why the Yankees were able to get a smart deal. Didn't have to give up too much for a guy who's been a big part of a championship team. And I think the lack of fondness worked the other way as well.
I think there's often, you know, that happens in the game. And anytime you're in a situation where you can beat your old team, maybe a manager that wasn't the most fun to play for. You're always trying to hit a 5-run home run. The pitcher trying to pitch the gem.
The 2-1. Line drive, a base hit. Run scores. That snaps an 0 for 19 for Swisher. And the Yankees now lead 5-0.
Well, I'm sure he feels awfully good about this. A slider, middle of the plate, good swing, gets through that ball. His 9th RBI on the season. Yes, he needed that. Comfortable, just fight through it. Staying with a plan. Trying to keep all the negative thoughts out of his mind. Good at bat.
Ozzie has seen enough of Edwin Jackson. He's going to call on Tony Pena to come in relief. So nobody out here in the 5th inning. And already 3 runs in. Swisher is at first. The night for Edwin Jackson is over. Come on back. Yankees lead 5-0. Guide compliments of Scott's. Well, Ozzie Guillen has to make the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. And he will bring in Tony Pena.
29-year-old right-hander struggling early on. That's not the walks. He's given up too many hits per innings. 13 hits in 9 1/3 innings. Edwin Jackson just got to watch now. Big Swisher's his runner.
This Tony Pena is no relation to the Yankees' Tony Pena, their bench coach. So 5-0 Yankees. And the way Sabathia is pitching it, they feel good with a 5-0 lead right now. And the pitch to Cano is a strike.
Tony Pena, hard thrower. Two different types of fastballs. The four-seamer a little harder than his two-seamer. The first one 91.
Cano grounded to second and had a sac fly to right in the third. There's a base hit up the middle. Swisher round second, stop right there. So the White Sox have yet to record an out in this inning. Runners on first and second for A-Rod.
That keep the line moving. 0-2 fastball right down the middle. Hot smash up the middle. Pass Gordon Beckham.
Here's Alex Rodriguez.
Lifetime against Pena. Alex Rodriguez, one of those hits, a home run.
Count 2-0.
Well, Castro coming out. Tony Pena missing the spots. You get a chance here with any offense, especially the Yankee offense. You got a pitcher in the starter as well. Jackson, who's now out of the game, where they're missing the command. It's an opportunity. You really got to find the spot, your spot, to drive the baseball. Disregard any other location.
The 2-0. Breaking ball, 2-1.
And he pulls the string. It's all over the place, and then 2-0. Look at fastball. That's the effectiveness of a good slider. Looks like a fastball in the hand. And then late break.
Count 3-1. Hits over his head and up against the wall. Swisher rounds third. He's coming home. Moving to third is Cano. Alex Rodriguez in second with an RBI double, and the Yankees lead 6-0.
tough time in right field, but these are not easy fly balls. It's a fastball away. I think Alex thought maybe he got that one. The reason why Cano wasn't able to score, with nobody out, Swisher was making sure that he did not catch that ball. Making sure that if he did, he was in the position to be able to tag up and go to third base. Alex not running here. I think he absolutely thought that ball was out of this ballpark. Just had too much topspin. But with Cano not able to bust it because of Swisher going back to second base.
So they're going to intentionally walk Chavez to load the bases. Still nobody out. As Don Cooper struggling through this game along with his pitchers. So that'll pass the baton to Russell Martin. So an intentional walk to Chavez. So with Swisher scoring there, Edwin Jackson's line is done. Now the 3 runners on base. Those are the responsibility of Tony Pena. Jackson went 4 innings, 4 hits. 6 runs, all earned. 5 walks and 2 strikeouts through 91 pitches. Russell Martin 0 for 2. Infield a double play down. 323 hitter with the bases loaded, 2 grand slams. Line drive, they base hit. Runners had to hold up to see if it was caught. Cano will score. Everybody else moves up the base. An RBI single for Martin. And the Yankees lead 7-0.
Keeping the line moving. Slider out front. Nice line drive swing. Gets out of the outstretched reach. Ramirez. Not hit as hard as the other previous balls, but placement.
Martin is 17th run batted in. So the Yankees have batted around. Here's Posada, the 9th batter to come to the plate. The Yankees are 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Jorge is 0 for 2 tonight. 1 for his last 23. So if you believe in due, he's due. Strike, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. No one up in the White Sox bullpen, so Pena has to get himself out of this. Yankees are breaking this open with 5 runs this inning and still nobody out, bases loaded. Now 1-1. A-Rod is at third. Chavez at second. And Martin is at first. Posada on back-to-back days last year against the Astros had back-to-back grand slams. 8 ribbies in 2 days on 2 swings. Not too bad. So he's got the bases loaded here in a 2-1 count. Worked himself into a hitter's count against Pena. Weak hack there by Posada. Count 2-2. Posada, great hitter with the bases loaded. 330, so far above his career average, and that's 9 grand slams as well.
Pitcher's in trouble. That's what tells me there with Posada's good numbers with bases loaded. He's got to throw you a strike. Good 2-1. Off-speed pitch. Tony Pena through. Jorge not able to hold up.
Coming into this year, pitches inside. Posada a 270. Check that. 275 lifetime. So well above that with the bases loaded. Now a 3-2 count. 5 runs this inning. The Yankees scored 5 runs in the previous 3 games in this series. And they are looking for more. 3-2. He walked him. That'll force it a run. Alex Rodriguez jogs down the third baseline. Don Cooper walks slowly out to the mound. Posada picks up his 12th ribby, and the Yankees lead 8-0. Still nobody out.
Yeah, you got to believe there's going to be some movement down in that White Sox bullpen. 20 pitches, no outs.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So Don Cooper is done with his on-mound tutorial, and still no stirring in the White Sox bullpen. Here's the guy who started it with a solo home run, innocently enough. That was the first hit of the game for the Yankees. Now they put 6 runs on the board, and Cooper will get somebody up in the bullpen. Pitch outside to Gardner. Brett Gardner has been slumping, but his last 3 hits have been home runs. And today he scored 2 runs. He walked and scored, and then the home run. And now they think something's wrong with Pena. Herm Schneider, a longtime trainer of the White Sox, jogs out to the mound, followed by Ozzie Guillen.
You know, when Donnie Cooper came out, I saw Tony Pena say something about his arm. He moved his arm around. Immediately, Cooper whistled. Herm Schneider, trainer for the White Sox.
So Pena walks off the mound with Schneider. The reliever who comes is going to have as much time as he needs. He inherits bases loaded. Nobody out. A network ahead. Ricky Romero will go for the Blue Jays beginning of a 3-game set, and Freddie Garcia coming off a great start against the Orioles, 1-0, 0.69. Our coverage on Yes is going to start at 6 with the batting practice show. 6:30 is our pregame show, and right around 7:08 will be the first pitch. So the rain is held up. It's an official game. Yankees are leading 8-0. And the White Sox have gone to the left-hander Will Ullman.
White Sox last year, Omen, lefty specialist, free agent signed, was with the Florida Marlins, along with the Baltimore Orioles. 51 games with the Orioles. Coming in here, getting some outs. One of these games for the White Sox, if you have any chance, you need your reliever to come in and get some outs.
Take the Yankees with you when you travel out of the Yankees' home territory. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. So it started with Brett Gardner's home run, then a double by Nunez, a triple by Granderson, a single by Swisher. So the first 4 batters the Yankees had hit for the cycle as a team. Then Cano a single, then Rodriguez an RBI double, an intentional walk to Chavez, an RBI single by Russell Martin, and then a bases loaded walk to Jorge Posada. So 6 runs in, the Yankees lead 8-0, and now Will Omen inherits a 1-0 count to Brett Gardner.
The hard hat.
Down 2-0.
Mike Stanton.
A little bit. Yeah.
Mike Stanton in his heyday through mid-90s. A little better fastball.
Last I heard, Mike Stanton was coaching a high school team in Jersey. Yeah. Looks just like him now. Good call. Mike Stanton really was one of the unsung heroes of that championship run. The Yankee bullpen was so lights out. You had Rivera closing. You had Nelson and Stanton teaming up from the left and the right side. You had Ramiro Mendoza before that. Pretty good.
Nelson was here today. Good chance to chat. Yeah, anytime you can shorten the game for a starter, 6 innings, awfully tough.
2-2. Swing and a miss, so Omen comes on to strike out Gardner for the first out.
Gardner, last three hits, when I saw that stat, obviously you don't think of a home run hitter, Brett Gardner. Last 3 hits being home runs. Looked like he was trying to go for the downs there.
You know, Mike Stanton is the official head baseball coach at Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey.
Great football school. Big sports powerhouse over in New Jersey. Is it the head baseball coach?
Head baseball coach.
That's a commitment.
Nice rope skipping there by Nunez. Now I don't know what this means, okay, but I have to pass it on. David Wells, our good buddy, great pitcher with the Yankees, is listening to Dean wherever he is. I think he's in San Diego, and he just
Ocean Beach.
He just texted me and said, "We used to call Mike Stanton Stinky. I think you should say it." That was their nickname for him, Stinky Stanton.
Huh.
The 1-1. So David adding some of his expertise to the broadcast.
Boomer.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Nunez is 1 for 1, a walk and 2 runs scored. Popped up. Nunez is there for the second.
getting in on the hands of Nunez. That ball looked inner half. Just enough velocity from Omen. Frustrating for a hitter, even with this big inning here, the 6 runs. And less than 2 outs, a medium fly ball gets you an RBI.
So Ramirez puts that away to retire Nunez, and here is Curtis Granderson. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, a triple, and RBI. Strike. It took the White Sox 28 minutes to retire the first Yankee this inning. 28 minutes.
That's it?
That's like one of your 1, 2, 3s.
Couple walks, base loaded, double play, couple more walks. You know, it's hard on, you know, obviously the pitchers, but the fielders standing back there every single pitch. Get ready, be fielded ready. Mental focus.
Castro thought that was strike 3.
Veteran crew chief Jerry Davis didn't think so. Still got an umpire according to whether it's over the plate or not. You see Castro now, he's setting up way off the plate there. Now that looks like a strike, but he's off the plate. As a catcher should. You know, 2-1-2 count. You want your pitcher to expand. And that's where I think it's different. Where the Quest-Tech system that's been in place, because umpires used to umpire according to how the game is going. A close pitch like that, based on this inning, not to say to take the bat out of the hands of Granderson or the hitter. But years ago, you'd see umpires umpire more in line with what's taking place.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. So a good job by Omen, but the damage was already done. 6 runs for the Yankees. They send 12 men to the plate. As we told you, they hit for this cycle as a team. When it was all over, Yankees lead 8-0 as we go to the 6th. In our music and computer world, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Let's go to the 6th inning. Yankees lead this one 8-0, and Carlos Quinton against CC Sabathia? Obviously, the obvious answer, Al, I know what you're going to say, you'll take the runs, but is there a disadvantage to sitting on the bench that long as a pitcher?
Sure. You know, look, your rest is, what did you say, it was 28 minutes?
28 minutes before they got an out, so it was over a half hour.
Yes, and I think, obviously, we wouldn't watch as to whether he sat there the whole time, but there is an opportunity here at the stadium if you had to go underneath and get some throws in. Not sure if he did that. What I used to do if it was a long inning, I would hurry up and get out there. And even though you're only allowed 8 pitches, if you hurry and the umpire's not really watching closely, you can get a few extra warm-ups. But yeah, there's always the concern that you'd be off a little bit.
32-minute inning in all, and then you have the 2 minutes between innings, so 34 minutes since he's been on the mound. Yankees sent 12 batters to the plate, 7 hits, 4 extra base hits, and they scored 6 runs. And maybe there is a manifestation of being a little rusty.
Yeah, no, that's a legitimate point, Michael. You get in there, you know it has to be. CC knows that. You get behind, you have an 8-0 lead. You'd rather just pipe it right down the middle and you know, take your chances. And the fact that he walked them the way he did, yeah. And also, too, aside from the rest of your arm and you know all that takes place while you're sitting there watching, is to get back into it mentally. You sit there for a long time, you're high-fiving your guys, you got 6 runs, you feel great about it. But now it's like, okay, let's go. You got to kick yourself.
So 5 straight balls from CC. Now 6 in a row.
See, that right there was just an aimed fastball, just hoping. Also, Martin identifying that when he put down the fastball and it's 86 miles an hour, that was not his changeup. It's just a lawn dart. All right, timeout. You know, hey, let's go. Stay back. Whatever the keys are for a catcher, for each unique to each pitcher, you can not only give him an idea of, okay, obviously you're throwing a lot of balls here, but stay on top, finish, get the glove.
There's a strike.
And I certainly know about throwing a lot of balls. I walk plenty of players, and it's a helpless feeling at sometimes where you're out there. We saw it with Edwin Jackson, started for the White Sox. Just you lose the plate. Forget about scatter point. You're just hoping to throw a strike. Look at there. He went from 86 mile an hour, get me over fastball at 95.
Time for another look at tonight's Toyota Text Poll. The question is, what is the most impressive occurrence so far this month? You've been texting us at 58772. Let's see how you voted. Weaver's 6-0 start has really impressed people the most. I think that impressed you as well.
Yes, yes. That .99. Baldo Jimenez, what he did with Colorado last year. CC kicking it up a notch here, 95 miles an hour. You know, the other part of that, watching him strike out Konerko on a great changeup, is that when you have a big lead and you miss a little bit, you're behind in the count. You have the propensity to just throw fastballs and forget to pitch. You still have to pitch your game. CC's game is off speed, changeups, using his slider effectively, power in a 94, 95 mile an hour fastball. You don't want to get behind in bad counts trying to be cute when you're up by 8 runs. You still also don't want to forget that you still want to pitch. Tough pitch to lay off. Adam Dunn not being patient enough to know that waving at that slider going away from him Good pitch, good take.
Breaking ball, strike 3, and he knew it.
Yeah, Dunn gave up on the pitch that was away from him. That was a ball. Now he just threw the perfect one, slider at his hip, middle of the plate, cannot pull the trigger. Adam Dunn struggling. Sitting fastball.
So 2 down, that's going to bring up Alex Rios. Dunn tonight is 0 for 3. He is now 7 for his last 53. Tapped in front of the mound, fielded by CC, and he gets Rios. So he recovers from a little bout of wildness and gets the next 3 White Sox as the Chicago White Sox strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Match at the Blue Jays right here in the Bronx. Coverage starts at 6 with Audi batting practice today in the Tri-State Fort pregame. Then Paul O'Neill's going to try to find the stadium, and along with John Flaherty and me, we'll make the call. Blue Jays and the Yankees. It all starts tomorrow at 6, only on Yes. When was the last time we saw O'Neill?
That's funny. Tampa. Spring training.
Well, Kevin Long has to feel better about tonight. The first 3 games, 5 runs, 13 hits total. Tonight, 8 runs, 7 hits total. First 3 games total 3 extra base hits. Tonight 4. On base percentage 213 the first 3. And they've gotten on half the time tonight. And here's Nick Swisher batting right-handed against Will Ullman. Foul back.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Kevin Long's got to feel good. You go through the routine every day, and today they took batting practice underneath in the tunnels because of the weather. As good a hitting coach as there is anywhere. Kevin Long.
Now, have you read his new book yet?
I have not. Cage Rat.
Yeah, it's really good. I've been reading some of it. It's very good. He had quite a interesting career. He spent 18 years in the minor leagues before he got the call up here to the Yankees. Really worked hard, and now he is considered one of the best hitting coaches in baseball. Ground ball, through for a base hit. So Nick Swisher, after going 0 for 19, is now 2 for 2, and he finally has reason to smile.
Go figure. There it is. Took the hard line drive in his previous at bat. Nice little grounder between Ramirez and Burrell. Out in front of that slider. That will be a hard line drive in the box score. talking about Kevin Longplay. I know you know well and like him, and it's hard not to. He keeps it simple, but yet his information is concise, to the point, and the guys really respond. You know, there are coaches that have a lot of information, and it doesn't connect. They like him a lot as a person. I don't know, his coach.
He has worked closely with Robinson Cano, and Cano will go to him if he needs to tweak something. And he went to him before yesterday's game when Cano hit that ball on the seats that he wanted to be able to turn on something inside. They have a drill that they work on, and it paid off in the first inning. Jeff Gray warming for the White Sox.
Well, Robbie didn't like that at all. Jerry Davis, home plate umpire. You got a hitter locked in, and Robinson Cano has been very good so far this year. They know the strike zone. Let's see whether Robbie thought that was inside or not. He may have been down more than anything else.
The 1-2. Fisted that one into center field, a base hit.
Such a good hitter, I'll tell you. Bowman in on the hands. That's a fist shot right here. He pulls his elbow in, able to still get the barrel. Line drive up the middle. Ended up getting Gavin Floyd with a cutter in on his hand, similar to Keep It Fair, game 2 of this series. And then yesterday, same thing.
Well, Will Oman got out of a jam in the 5th inning. Now he's creating one in the 6th as Ozzie goes to the bullpen again.
Joel, that guy right there has been giving or selling suits to Major League players for years, and apparently he traded Ozzie Guillen traded that shirt right there. It's like a Robert Grant shirt, one of our advertisers.
Yeah.
And Joel sitting near Ozzie Guillen, I guess he got this nice little White Sox shirt, being a Yankee fan. I don't know, but this goes a long way. This guy he's funny. And he knows everybody in the game.
Yeah, I have actually met him. I don't really know him that well. I know he always brings stuff up here for O'Neill because O'Neill's the king of the freebies, but we never get anything. It's unbelievable. Joel, come on up. Anyway, here's Alex Rodriguez as he takes a pitch inside from Gray. Now his phone's going to start blowing up. He's got 2 phones out.
No, this goes along right near the Grand Hyatt. All the visiting teams, and he come out, put on a little show.
So what? He gave Ozzie a shirt, and Ozzie gave him a White Sox windbreaker?
Yes.
Gotcha. That's off the bare hand of Gray. Ramirez fields and fires to first, so that scored at 1-6-3 as the runners move up.
Gray, you know, it's instinctive for a pitcher just to stop the ball. Obviously, could be dangerous, especially with your throwing hand. Gray comes through, ball up the middle, sees it as a base hit. I remember Kevin Brown used to do that so many times.
And they tell you not to, but it's just instinctual.
Yeah, there's a base hit and RBI coming up right up the middle.
Here's Eric Chavez. Eric has walked twice, once intentionally and struck out. Dribbled slowly towards second. That's going to score a run. The out is made at first. Swisher scores, and the Yankees lead 9-0. And an RBI for Chavez.
Well, good professional bat. You have less than 2 outs, second and third. Chavez, of course, trying to drive the ball to the outfield, but the intention is to pull the ball on the ground on the right side and get an RBI out. Closer ball game means a lot more. 8 now, 9-0. Certainly the RBI Chavez will take.
Here's Russell Martin. Runner at third with 2 outs. Yankees up 9-0, bottom of the 6th. With the Yankee offense being what it is, you just realize and figured that they were going to break out of it at some point. The first 3 games held down by the White Sox. But today, kind of a coming out party. 2 runs in the third without the benefit of a hit, and 6 runs in the 5th inning kind of broke things open, and then 1 run here on the bottom of the 6th with a runner on third and 2 outs.
You see immediately the perked interest of Joe Girardi, as you should. Anytime the team's getting peppered, 9-0 now, you get a ball up underneath your chin, you wonder if it's on purpose. Never advocate throwing, certainly at throwing at heads. You know, there's every successful pitcher is someone who's able to effectively throw inside and let a hitter know that they're in the batter's box. But don't throw it to the head.
Warren's been a great find for the Yankees. 1-year deal, and he's been more than they could have hoped for. As he skies that one just to the left of dead center, Alex Rios puts it away. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits and 1 man left. We go to the top of the 7th. CC Sabathia will come out, and when he does, he has himself a big-time 9-0 lead. Series Yankeeography celebrates the award winners. From Yogi Berra to Alex Rodriguez, see the MVPs and Cy Young winners who have created a legacy in pinstripes. It's Yankeeography, the award winners, tonight after the postgame, only on Yes. Derek, an MVP of an All-Star game and a World Series, the only player to do that in the same year. Cadillac scoreboard 9-0 Yankees, and he did it against the Mets.
And me, the All-Star game. Game-winning hit.
And he had a home run against you in the World Series.
All the way around. I remind Derek once in a while. Base it up the middle, nationally. Won that game. Oh, American. Of course.
The 1-1. You ever get any good stuff from the All-Star game? Don't they give you like a box of baseballs?
The box of baseballs, you sign a ton of items. It's an honor. It's a thrill. There's a lot of things to sign, but you know that eventually you're going to get some good items. But I wasn't much of a collector, which I wish I was. Now, obviously, I've been retired. Being around, the great players. I only made two All-Star games, and I just think, when you're there in the middle of it, you think, wow, this I'm gonna make a few more of these.
Want me to sign this for you?
Yeah, would you?
If you're collecting now?
But that was a thrill, no doubt. The 2000 down in Atlanta. It's funny, some guys are big collectors. I remember playing with Dwayne Ward in Toronto, and he collected everything baseball related.
Pitch the Beckham is outside. I mean, it's part of the game where a team will come into town, they'll send stuff across the hallway to the Yankee clubhouse, and most players ask for Derek Jeter jersey signed. They buy the jersey and Derek signs them. Sometimes they use it for charity. There are a lot of collectors.
Well, you know what? It's gotten to that point now where I remember coming out, Mattingly just got worn out. Everybody wanted Donnie's autograph. And Derek is so good with it. You're right. You go into the visiting clubhouse there with Luke Kakuza, and they'll have the guys come in. Hey, would you get, whoever? But with the Yankees, it's a laundry list of guys you want.
Here's Brent Morrell. And there's a strike. CeCe really dealing. And another Yankee starter out, giving the Yankees innings and quality innings and saving the bullpen. And it started with CeCe last Saturday in Baltimore, and it has continued on. It almost becomes catching, where everybody doesn't want to be the guy who breaks the string.
Oh, I so believe that. You look at the last 5 games, stellar. When you think of that, coming into spring training with the rotation and the question marks, and granted this is a small snippet, but a nice one, in the month of April. AJ so far, all the talk as to, how is he going to rebound from last year? Cologne, excellent.
The 2-1. Fouled away.
And it starts with your ace, too. CeCe Sabathia, it's not a coincidence. Absolute workhorse in every sense of the word. And, early in this game, Michael, in the second inning, he threw a lot of pitches, got out of it.
Now he's only at 91.
Settle down.
Ground ball is short. Nunez is there. High throw, and Morrell will reach on the error by Nunez. That's his second error. And not piling on Eduardo Nunez here, but he's on this team to spell Derek Jeter and play defense, and he can't come into a game and start one and make 2 errors.
Yeah, looks a little casual. He's got to throw. It's not over the top, 4-seam, come down through it, kind of off the side, high 3/4. You get a little fade to it. But you're right. It's similar. Look, you're an utility infielder. You're coming in to relieve Derek or second base Cano, occasionally at third base. Your first priority is good defense.
You've got to make the plays. You can't make errors like that. He made one in the first inning of the first play of the game, and Sabathia was right away in the second and third, nobody out jam, and got out of it. And now you're adding pitches to CeCe's performance. And maybe you take the 8th inning away from him here by making that error. And that's something that a guy like Eduardo, who played every day in the minors, has to make an adjustment because he's not used to sitting a lot. But once you get this job, you have to be committed to making it work and stay ready and make those plays. And I'm sure that Joe Girardi and Robbie Thompson and Mick Kelleher, the whole coaching staff will be working with him on that. You got to make the plays because he's got a nice bat. He's versatile. There's a balk as CeCe walks Morel to second base. Did you see what he did there, Rob?
You know what? It looked like he hesitated. He either shook and then agreed to a pitch with Russell Martin, and he had a slight little movement, the hesitation, before he disengaged the pitcher's rubber. Right there.
Yeah, he dropped the ball.
And dropped the ball. Yeah, disengaged and dropped the ball. You can't do that.
There's a strike to Lillibridge, who was 0 for 3. Count 2-2. Slowly to Chavez. Now he bobbled that ball because there was nobody covering first. I think he panicked. CeCe never got off the mound, and if you look at Chavez, he ranged way too far to his right there, and he's just learning the position. He's a third baseman by trade, and he's got to learn how to play first.
You said it. Here's CeCe Sabathia. He's thinking that's a ground ball to second base, which it is. See Chavez way off the bag. Not aware of how far he needs to go before he realizes Robinson Cano, and he also hits it off of his thumb. Now again, this is a guy who's never played first base, started at first base. He was even considering using a outfielder's glove. So just the adjustment of the first baseman's glove.
Now he worked a lot in spring training with Tino Martinez. And Tino said that he made great strides, and the most difficult thing for him was receiving the ball from the infielders because he doesn't have to do that at third. And what Eric did was a lot of kids in Little League do. Before the throw was made, he'd stretch out. So Tino would go, no, you have to play first base like you're hitting. You react to where the ball is. He says, and then you make the stretch. That one is looped into right center field, and shoddy fielding by the Yankees has broken up this shutout. So a base hit for Ramirez, a run scores. Moving to third is Lillibridge. And the Yankees now lead 9-1.
Well, that'll happen. You see a little breakdown of some defense, and then the pitcher, CeCe's got to continue to bear down, make the pitches.
Now, one of the reasons the Yankees were happy about Chavez is they felt that he could be proficient enough at first to spell Mark Teixeira. So the Yankees really don't have a backup first baseman other than maybe Posada, who's not exactly Don Mattingly and Tino Martinez over there either. He's played some first. So they look at Chavez as the legitimate backup first baseman. Quentin will go back, and so will Swisher, who'll play it off the wall. The throw comes into second, and they have Quentin hung up. That is a bad base running maneuver when you consider how far back they are in this game. The run ends up scoring. 2 runs end up scoring. And that will do it. What can you be thinking when you're down 9-1 to try to stretch and go to second? But Nick Swisher played that well off the wall, and then the Yankees ran the run down very, very well. So So Eduardo Nunez ends up tagging out Quinton, and that will do it. 6.5, the Yankees are up, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx. The 9-3. By the way, no harm, no foul for CC. All of those runs are unearned because of the errors in the inning. And the Yankees lead this one 9-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Jorge Posada picked up an RBI with a bases loaded walk. That was in the 5th inning. He's 0 for 2 otherwise. Jeff Gray, the 4th Yankee pitcher. And the pitch is low, 1-0. I said 4th Yankee pitcher, 4th White Sox pitcher against the Yankees. Now Derek Jeter talking things over with Eduardo Nunez. And let me tell you something about Nunez. He's an outstanding fielder. I mean, that's why he made this team, because he is considered a top-flight, major league ready shortstop. But he's got to learn to play with truncated playing time. It's all part of the learning process.
That's where, you know, pregame, you go out, you watch batting practice, and the guys, you know, they take infield, and, you know, aside from the maybe additional work prior to, but that's where a guy, utility infield, that's where you're going to get your work in.
You see what Jeter just told him there? You dropped your arm. That's why the ball sailed. And Derek's come over more on the top. You just drop your elbow a little bit, and that's what's going to happen. So class is in session there. Derek being the captain and a veteran and a Gold Glove winner is talking things over. And he's seen how the ball floated, and Derek said, well, that's why. The 3-1. It's sports are so great like that, Al, because, I mean, you went through it. It's called paying it forward. Somebody did it for you, and now Jeter's doing it for him. And it could be the guy that, you know, ends up replacing you or tries to replace you, but you still have that obligation to try. Hot shot to second base. Posada is out. Blue Jays coming into town, and here's the probable matchups for this 3-game weekend set. We got Romero tomorrow against Freddie Garcia, Kyle Drabeck, who's pitched very well against A.J. Burnett, who also has had a great April. That's the last day in April. And Jesse Litch against Ivan Nova. So the Yankees will try to keep rolling along on their rotation that has been so impressive. And there's Freddie Garcia, the man they call the Chief. Tomorrow, coverage begins at 6, so be there. I mean, really. 6 o'clock, the BP show. That's what you should start your day. You get out of work, get to a TV, turn on Yes, watch the BP show, and then stay there the rest of the day.
That's what you do.
Yeah, why not? Go on 0. Inside. Slapped in the left center field. It is a base hit by Gardner. He's going to make that extra bases. Cut off there by Rios, but Gardner is at second with a double. For Gardner, his second hit of the night, and he needs a multi-hit game.
Well, considering his last 3 hits have been home runs, feeling good. The ball down the middle, flying out of there. A little bit of right center. Alex Rios getting in front of that ball, keeping Gardner at second.
You showed that kind of speed in the World Series against the Phillies when you picked up that double.
That, don't you?
Oh, I'll never forget it. Neither can John Kruk.
Lightning.
Didn't John Kruk trail you and start screaming it's not that easy?
I told him when I batted 270 in high school, it ticked him off even more.
And that was your first Major League at bat?
First Major League at bat.
In the World Series. Here's Eduardo Nunez. Check swing. He did not go. That's Sam Holbrook. All 4 umpires got a chance behind the plate in this series. 4-game set. That's what happens. They rotate along the bases. And Jerry Davis gets the final turn. 0-1-1. There's the swing.
You mentioned about Tampa Bay. How about the guys that are no longer there and have the struggles? You know, you want the teams that know their talent the most. Crawford struggling up in Boston, 156 average. Carlos Pena in Chicago Cubs, 169. Rafael Soriano here has struggled early on.
Off the glove of Gray, he slowed it down. And look at Nunez hustling it into a single. That is pure speed and hustle as he turned a ground ball into a single.
Hitting off of Gray's glove helped him get this single. Aside from excellent speed, the ball slow enough to where Beckham just wasn't able to get enough on the baseball. And boy, he outran this. Watch his speed here. Hits off the pitcher, scooting. Wow. Right up there with Brett Gardner's speed.
I'd love to see a match race between Nunez and Gardner. That would be pretty good. They don't do match races, though, anymore. Somebody could pull a hamstring. It doesn't make sense. My guess, Al, is that would be fast even in yes room.
Both of them. You know what? I just haven't seen enough of Nunez. I got to believe Gardner's faster.
Check out the play at first base, and we'll check it out with the Coors Light Freeze Can. There it is, and the ball's still in the air. Eight at bats tonight. Gardner and Nunez have been on base 6 times and scored 4 runs, pending what's going on this inning. That one's hit deep to left field. That should score Gardner. Willibridge makes the catch. He'll flip the ball into Ramirez. Gardner scores. A sac fly for Granderson, and the Yankees now lead 10-3. Well, tonight throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Tonight's candidates are number 1, CC Sabathia, number 2, Nick Swisher, number 3, Brett Gardner, number 4, Curtis Granderson. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. So that's the second RBI of the night for Granderson. Now, Tony Pena of the White Sox left the game in the 5th inning because of an injury, and we're just told that he left the game because of discomfort in his right elbow. So Nunez is at first. Lance Pendleton is warming in the Yankee bullpen. (10-3). Yankees over the Sox, so Nick swings and misses.
Healthy cut. Wonder with this bigger lead, is CC still sitting there? Is he going to go out? He's got 99 pitches.
2-1. Count 3-1. Told you the Yankees have not lost a series to the White Sox here at the stadium since 2005. Now with the unbalanced schedule, that one's driven deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. See ya! Home run, Nick Swisher, his first of the year. So he's on the board with power, and the Yankees lead 12-3. Boy, did he need this night out. After grounding out in the first inning, he was a career high 0 for 19. Then a walk, a single, and that home run.
And there you have it. You know, once he got that hard base hit in the 5th inning, I mean, it was just a different look, a different feel. He had a healthy cut prior to this home run right here. A 2-0 count, swung out of his shoes, got a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And you're right, Michael. Anytime a guy is admitted to that he started thinking about it, well, ways to stop thinking about it. There you go. Birthday wish your home run.
Did you see the play by the fan in the second deck? What a great catch. Brought along his glove and caught it on the fly. Pretty nice. Check out this play. This is going to impress you. The 0-1. Rip foul. Long drive. Right there. Keeps his balance, takes the hat off, and then milks it. Love that. You catch a Nick Swisher home run, you have to play it up a little bit.
He did.
And look at Nick's joy. He admitted, we told you this earlier, he'd been fixating on not hitting a home run. That one's driven deep to center field off the bat of Cano. Rios back, still back. And that ball is caught. Oh, what a play by Rios. And he might have hurt himself up against the wall. But he took an extra base hit away from Robinson Cano to end the inning. But the Yankees get 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors and nobody left. It could have been more, but Rios makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch to end it. Along with Jack and Kim on our post-game show. Some changes in the Yankees defensive alignment. Andrew Jones takes over in right field. Eric Chavez goes from first to third. And here's a guy who can play first base, Nick Swisher. He's played that position a lot. And there's a new catcher, Gustavo Molina, as Joe Girardi will give a couple of his regulars the rest of the night off. And it looks like they made those changes straight up. And Lance Pendleton will take over on the mound. So CC Sabathia went 7 innings, did not allow an earned run. Pendleton has been a pleasant surprise, 3 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts, has not allowed a run. Konerko lines one right at Chavez. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Back to the hot corner. Chavez, a smash over Konerko's bat. First pitch. Very good fastball hitter. Right at Eric Chavez.
Hit so hard, Konerko never even got to the left-handed batter's box. Pitch to Adam Dunn is a strike. High pop-up. Cano called off by Jones. 2 outs. Now we saw Alex Rios come up limping after making that great play on Cano. Caught his foot on the bottom of the padding just to the right of dead center field, and now Mark Teahen is going to pinch hit for Alex Rios. There's the rip that it left.
Maybe a little bit of a sprained ankle. You get your cleat caught in the bottom of the fence here. See which foot it is. Left foot. Great catch.
Down 2-0. Rios watching the rest of the game, so he's not getting medical attention immediately, so maybe just a precautionary lift from the game as that one gets past a diving Cano. A pinch hit single for Mark Teahen.
Well, Lance Pendleton coming in, throwing strikes. Still aggressive White Sox lineup here. Jumping on early pitches.
High fly ball off the bat of Castro. Granderson there, he'll put it away, and that will do it here in the 8th. No runs a hit, 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Scoreless inning for Lance Pendleton. Yankees coming back up. WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry break down all the action from tonight. They bring you the highlights from around the league. And Kimberly Jones will get all the reaction from the clubhouses. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. Andrew Jones will lead off. So the changes weren't totally straight up because Alex left the game, but Ira Chavez went from first to third, and then Swisher went from right to first. So this is the vacated hole that Alex left. So that's why Andrew Jones batting here. Jeff Gray deals. Andrew was with the White Sox last year. The 2-0. Gray deals high.
The American League version of giving your bench guys an opportunity with the 12-3 game here. He has a chance to get some guys at some at bats and see some pitches. As Andrew Jones just saw 4 balls.
Defensive change for the White Sox. Etienne takes over left, and Lillibridge moves from left to center. Joe talking things over with his bench coach. There's Etienne. And Lillibridge now has played all 3 outfield positions in this series. Chavez right back to the mound, and they turn the double play. A little difficult because it wasn't a great throw to Ramirez, but he's so good around the bag. He got the throw off, and they got Chavez to double him up 1-6-3.
Yeah, nice play for Ramirez. This ball is leaking a little bit toward the second base side. For him to stay on the bag,
he did.
It looked like the little transfer from his left leg to right foot. I don't know if he was on the bag.
I mean, we'll have to take a closer look, but I don't think he ever touched the bag.
The phantom tag, Greg Gibson calling a double play at him.
And a strike to Gustavo Molina. Let's see.
On the bag. It's 12-3.
Now, you mentioned that before. You shouldn't change the way you call a game if it's 12-3. A strike is a strike, whether it's 12-3 or 1-1.
Not to totally take the bat out of the hand of a batter or vice versa.
Molina with a high fly ball to shallow left. Alexei Ramirez way out there, and it falls as Molina picks up a double. Ramirez is probably thinking, where's Tien?
Yeah. Well, Mark Tien is a third baseman coming up, an infielder. But still, you go that far, Ramirez is probably waiting to hear something. Now he's getting close to the stands there. Maybe he's hearing some fans what he thought was Tien calling him off. Not good when you're losing a ball game 12-3.
This has been a somewhat sloppy ball game. So Molina picks up his first Yankee hit, and you wonder how long he's going to be here with Francisco Cervelli, about ready to come back after rehabbing that broken foot that he suffered in spring training. Here's Posada. Fouled away. Jorge's struggles continue. He had a bases loaded walk in the 5th, but otherwise 0 for 3. Now 1 for his last 24, hitting 132. But the power numbers are there, 6 and 12.
Good for Posada to get part of this hit parade here. He saw Swisher and Gardner looking much better tonight with their hits. It's a different look for a guy who's pressing, looking for a good swing to get a hit. good and get the monkey off your back, as we saw Swisher tonight with a good ball game. Different feel getting in the box, for sure.
I'm surprised at that 2-error total in the Yankee line score, because I thought sure that the Eric Chavez misplay was an error, because Nunez has 2 errors himself, but I guess the Eric Chavez error on Lillibridge who scored a hit. That was the one where he ranged far to his right, so that was a hit. Chop towards second, Beckham. And Jorge is 0 for 4. That'll do it for the Yankees here in the 8th. No runs a hit, 1 man left. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees leading by 9. Over drive of the game, Alois.
And that was in the 5th inning. Started that big outburst of 6 runs. Brett Gardner getting the fastball down and in, just smoking a live drive home run. His 3rd on the year. Started a 6-run inning. At the time, it was 2-zip. Yanks ended up being 8-1, 8-0. And Rover driving the green.
All right, so we go to the 9th inning. Yankees are leading this one 12-3. Hey, I want to give some props, Al, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We had mentioned that Mike Stanton used to be the coach at Don Bosco Prep. We thought he still was this year. A guy named Mark DeMena is now the coach, so I want to give Mark props because he's the guy that's actually there. So Mike used to be the coach at Don Bosco Prep. That one's popped up, and Beckham is retired, so 1 down.
Did Mike Stanton alert you on that one?
Mark DeMena did.
All right.
Here's Brent Morrell. Count 1-0. That one is wrapped into center field. Giving chase is Granderson on the run. It's over his head. Morel is motoring to second, and he'll stop right there. So a one-out double by Brent Morel.
Well, the Yankee outfield plays in. You see where Granderson is playing a little right center field, but also in, playing for that bloop single over your head, double. Because of the depth of the outfield, sometimes you give up hits like that.
Count 0-1 on Brent Lillibridge. So Ozzie Guillen will get out of town with a split and end one of the longest April road trips that the Sox have ever had. Here's the second out. The Sox are down to their final out. In fact, this ends the 11-game road trip, and it matches the longest road trip in franchise history during the month of April. That was in 1928, the last time they did it.
Well, the fact that the baseball season now starts in March, so we have longer road trips in April.
That is a long road trip for April, though. 11 games. There's a strike to Ramirez. They are 4-6 on this road trip, so they're about to be 4-7. And in that 1928 11-game April road trip, they were 4-7. So there you have it. So the Yankees one strike away from a victory. Runner at second, the 0-2. That one is driven deep to left field, but Gardner is there. He'll put it away. Ball game, and the Yankees put it on the left side. A 12-3 victory for the Yanks. Big night for Nick Swisher as he gets off the schneid. A couple of hits for Gardner, including a home run. And CC Sabathia gave the Yankees 7 strong innings. He only allowed 3 unearned runs, and he picks up the victory, his second of the year. And Lance Pendleton, 2 more shutout innings, and the captain had the night off, so he was just a spectator today. But the Yankees won the game 12-3. You have to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's tonight's Chevy player of the game. And also for the Yankees, their run of solid starts continues. Now 6 games in a row where the starters have given them effective length. And not much to complain about at all, starting with CC last Saturday in Baltimore, then Freddie Garcia, then A.J. Burnett, then Ivan Nova, then Bartolo Colon last night, and again CC Sabathia tonight. So all in all, Yankees split with the White Sox. So the White Sox do not win their first series in New York since 2005. They'll have to settle for a split of the 4-game set. Now, one of the happiest guys in the ballpark has to be Nick Swisher. And not just because he's standing next to Kim Jones.
Oh, Michael, of course he's smiling. Nick, big night. Michael and Al were talking about it during the broadcast. They said Nick needed a night like this. Did you, and how much?
Absolutely. You know, it's kind of been a rough start for sure. But the team's playing well, and that's all that really matters, you know. I mean, I've been putting in my time and making sure I get my work in and just kind of get it in there every day, and today it paid off.
What's that 5th inning like that takes more than 30 minutes to play? You guys bat around before you record an out, and you had a hit in that inning as well?
Well, it's always fun in those innings for sure. You know, that means everyone from top to bottom is doing their job. And, you know, you got a guy like Edwin Jackson who throws super hard. I mean, 95, 96. And tonight we had something for him, and, you know, it's a great win for us.
I feel like I'm burying the lead, Nick Swisher, because you went deep. How'd that home run look?
Felt good. Felt real good. You know, it's just happy to get that monkey off my back, and now I can just go back to being my normal self and just keep things rolling.
Was it bothering you? Because I know you try to hide it well.
Right.
It had been a while.
Well, I'm an emotional guy. I mean, my heart's on my sleeve at all times. And, you know, tonight was just my night. And, You know, somebody's looking down on me today because I finally got that first one. And, you know, all that hard work that K. Long and I have been doing for the past week or so. And definitely that home run's definitely been up in the back of my head. So, but it's nice to kind of get it off my back, and I feel good.
Maybe in a few months we look back on tonight as the night that Nick Swisher arrived.
I hope so. It's good to be back.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, Kim.
Michael, too bad he's not enthusiastic.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to get anything out of him. Thanks, Kim, and thank you to Nick as well. So Nick Swisher with a very big night. He matched his longest hitless streak of his career, 0 for 19, but he busted out of it in a big way, and the Yankees win 12-3. We'll be back.